Their debut album, Chapman Square, spawned an incredible 5 top 10 singles, and they look to continue that success with their new single. It's Lawson.
Hello.
Hello. Guys, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Yeah, very good. So that's the official intro. We did have another one where I sort of gently poked the fact that you're not my favourite members.
Exactly.
Joel and Ryan are my favourite members, and they're not here.
That one. I preferred that one.
I was a bit offended, to be honest, so I made sure I had a little word with the producer there and just said, make sure that doesn't go in.
Because the thing is, I know you said it in jest, but I could look in your eyes and there was so much meaning in the eyes that I felt that we really weren't your 2 favourite members of Lawson.
No, this is an exclusive, and I want to tell you this properly, guys. I never liked the other two.
Really?
Joel and Ryan.
You don't like him either, so that's feelings mutual.
I mean, you guys are clearly
you've got the drummer,
the best.
And you've got the lead singer right here. What else could you need?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that could be the band.
Exactly.
I mean, I could come on tour with you guys maybe instead.
Can you shred the guitar like, or?
I could give you D.
Bass?
Yeah.
Bass?
I'll hit a root note for you.
Yeah, because bass, I mean, Ryan is the most replaceable member ever. Do you know what I mean? Because basically all he does is just plays like boom, 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 boom.
Sometimes he can't even do that right, can he?
And sometimes he doesn't even do that. So, I mean, all you need to do, mate, is do that. And you'd get all the girls as well, so.
Yeah?
You'd be in.
Oh, do you know what? That would be lovely.
Actually, no, you wouldn't be in, actually, because you will get all the girls, so that's not good, mate. Pete Best.
Oh, wow. So, hang on, I've just joined Lawson, and now you're kicking me out.
Yeah, you're out the band.
You're too attractive to be in Lawson, is essentially the problem we've got.
I don't think that's true, guys.
It is, mate.
Look at these guys, chiselled out of stone.
Look at those cheekbones, not having it.
Dimples as well. Anyway, this isn't about me. I swear I've said that a few times in interviews with you guys.
Sorry.
We were just saying, I was your first ever TV interview, and how far? I mean, was that 3 years ago now?
3 years ago in a pub, probably quite near here. It was a strange, like kind of pub vibe. But we were very nervous. But you kind of set the bar for interviews from then. We said that Ivan is the man, and to be honest, no one's really lived up to it since.
We haven't, no. And now we've came full circle.
This is it. Now you've completed your...
We're back with you, promoting now our brand new...
Now you're ready,
album.
Guys. Now you can release the new album. Now you've been here, now you've done this.
It feels right.
You're ready to go. But it's been 3 years. Is that surreal, looking back, thinking, wow, it's been 3 years since Chapman Square? I mean, so much has happened for you guys. Like I said, 5 top 10 singles, and obviously the album went top 5 as well. Is that quite surreal now, looking back?
It is, yeah. I mean, for us, it feels like a lot longer journey than that, you know, because even before we released Chapman Square, it was like 4 years in a van, do you know what I mean? Just up and down the country doing gigs to anyone that would have us, really. So the journey has been amazing, mate. You know, we've had our ups and downs, and, you know, and the journey that we've came on as a band and as friends as well, you know, it's been amazing, really. And now we're about to release our 7th single, which feels crazy for us, you know. It's basically just 4 mates who went to music college together and used to rehearse a couple of times a week, you know, to now having the success we've had. We feel really privileged, right?
7th single, that's incredible. Let's talk first. You guys did just went straight back into the road, and you've done like a mini tour, haven't you? Glasgow, Manchester, and London.
Yeah, we did 3 dates a couple of weeks ago because we'd kind of been away for so long recording. Well, obviously, it seems to people over here that we've been away for a long time, but actually, we were kind of working through a lot of that, kind of Andy writing the album, and then we went over to Nashville for quite a while to record it. So we've been busy, and we've kind of just been spending quite a lot of time making sure we get this album sounding right, and we've had a lot more freedom to kind of, the producer we work with gave us so much more freedom to kind of experiment with kind of different sounds, and because obviously we're a lot older than when we recorded Chapman Square, so it's kind of a more mature sounding album, and it was quite scary to kind of come back, and because we hadn't done shows in the UK for a while, so to come back and play those kind of brand new songs, which do sound pretty different to Chapman Square, to some of the fans we've had since Chapman Square, to see their faces as we played the new songs was pretty scary, but they they seemed to be on board and they seemed to like him, so it was a good experience to get back out on the road.
It felt like they slipped in the set okay, and it went down with the fans. You got a thumbs up, yeah?
Yeah, we just slid them straight in, mate, like they'd never been gone, you know. It was great, really, but you know, it's always interesting because, like, you know, our agent said to us after the gig, it's like, you know, he feels that, like, when he comes to see our gig now, it's like every tune is like, you know, being in the charts, you know, and it's like, it's getting like that now, you know what I mean? It's brilliant, and we have a real trouble writing a set list. Because we're like, you know, do we leave out that one? Do we put that one in? And I think what we always like to do is when we do a live show, like, for instance, the latest show we did, when we did Juliet, we did like a little intro Money for Nothing at the start.
Nice.
So we just threw that in, and we did a little bit of I Shot the Sheriff in the middle of Broken Hearted. So we just change them up a little bit, you know, and the new songs just fitted straight in there, and it was sounding awesome, epic.
Was it nice being back on the road?
It was so nice, but like you say, it was only 3 dates. So like the first night was pretty nervy, but it felt amazing. Got there. Second night was London, so it was a big London show, and that went amazingly. Then before we knew it, we did Glasgow, and it was over. So we kind of wished it was kind of went on for another 4 months, but that's all still to come. So
you got that to look for. You're gonna you're gonna be on the road for a while, I think, with this.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully, yeah.
Brilliant. Let's talk about then your new single, your 7th single now, Roads. Firstly, what's the song about?
Roads is. Have you ever seen the program Californication?
Yes.
With David Duchovny. Yeah. It's one of my favourite shows, and in that show, Hank Moody, obviously the main dude, and he says to his missus, "No matter what I do, all roads lead right back to you." And I was like, watching it, I was like, that's such a great title for a song.
Was that in the finale?
It was in.
Was it near the end?
It was near the end. Yeah, it was near the end, and I was like,
emotional.
my brain was ticking, and oh mate, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Did you enjoy the finale?
Oh, it was amazing. I was in tears. It was over.
Like we discussed earlier, you're an emotional guy. That's fine.
Yeah, sensitive soul.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm like proper like on it when it comes to anyone who ever says anything that's quite like a cool little line or phrase. I just straight away I got my phone out and I'm writing in a title. Oh, that's cool. So, you know, for like the last year or so, I've just had like a list of like titles on my phone that I wanted to write songs about, and All Roads Lead to You, which we then shortened to Roads. So it's about, you know, that certain someone or something that, you know, you can't just get away from, basically. You know, it's, you try and escape it, but, you know, you always end up right back at, you know, where you started, so.
And for you, I mean, with Hank, obviously, it was his ex-wife. This is a gorgeous lady. What's it for you?
It was a girl I was with at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a girl that I've been with like on and off, and I was constantly just going back all the time, you know. And for Hank, it was Karen. You were looking for
Karen, that was it. Yeah. Damn it, I was thinking.
Big fan.
Yeah. It's a great show.
But the great thing about that show is it's brilliant for like a songwriter like me because Hank's an author. He says so many like amazing things, you know what I mean? And you just pick up on them like, oh, I'll write that down, you know, and that's the thing about, you know, because we've been on tour for like the last 4 years. You constantly, you know, we're meeting people, and, you know, as boys, we love meeting people and we love chatting to people probably a bit too much. And, you know, you're just taken in by people's stories, aren't you? And people's journeys. Everyone's got one. So, you know, you pick up certain things, and Roads was just seemed to be a song that a lot of people can relate to. I'm sure, you know, you've been there with, you know, with a girl, or maybe even with, you know, eating or something like that. You know what I mean? Any form of addiction, you know, you may have. I'm not saying that, you know, that came across so bad.
I know I've not seen you guys in 18 months, but, you know, it's winter weight still. You know, we're only just getting to spring. No, go on.
You know what I meant.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I
course.
meant. Whether, you know, you've got a certain, you know, even drinking or anything like that, any terms of like, you know, addiction or whatever, you know, that you can't seem to shake. And that's basically what the song's about, so.
Video as well. It's a stunning video. Where was it shot?
We did it in Norway. Well, Andy actually went out and we did ours in East London, the band kind of section of the video. Andy got to go to Norway. So,
yeah, you went through the shot, sure.
We did, yeah. So Andy's going to Norway. Where
for you, it wasn't so stunning.
No.
North London bits.
I mean, I've seen what you've seen, and it looks blooming stunning.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that in person.
So, on behalf of the both of us, tell us what the place was like.
It was brilliant, mate. It was awesome. But when we got told we were going to Norway, I think, you know, all the lads thought they were going to Norway as well. It was like, so,
who broke it to them?
I think it was just our manager was like, so Andy, your call time is Friday at 7, and lads, we'll see you back in London on Monday. And I think the lads were like, oh, so we're not coming.
Oh, I can just imagine you with skis under your arm.
That's it. I had my backpack ready to go.
Yeah, go cool.
Woody hat, everything.
So yeah, we jetted off. We had to get like 4 flights there. It was miles away.
4 flights?
Literally, it took us like 10 hours.
Oh, I see. Not to get just directly to Norway, but you
sounds horrible.
Were they private jets as well?
No, it was not. It was
well,
not. No. The last one we got was like a little tiny propeller plane, like literally through these mountains in Norway. It was absolutely stunning. I'm not a big fan of flying, but I mean, it was amazing. You know, it was such good views, and you know, when we got there, we had an incredible director we were working with. He's worked with like a lot of sort of more like indie bands, to be fair. So,
what's his name?
a guy called James Slater, who's really, really cool director, and he had a good eye for that sort of thing, you know. So it was a little, I'd like to say, maybe a little cooler than some of our other videos, you know. It's got a sort of an indie sheen to it, but like, you know, also still cinematic. You know, we always like that sort of film-esque.
You know what it made me think of was kind of James Bond a little bit. You had that, obviously, you had the cool car, and,
Mate, I mean,
and
a lot of people say I
my next
resemble
question
Daniel
to you,
Craig.
yeah, I mean, is this, but, you know, and not, you know. I know you weren't there, so I feel bad for this section.
It's fine.
You know, let's just
go on.
We'll come back to you in a bit, mate. We're going to talk about the album, Nashville. I promise you.
I wasn't there either.
No, I was.
I did all my bits in the studio in London. But I mean, you pulled off quite a performance. Is acting something you'd ever consider going down?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it, mate. Really, like it was just one of those treatments that we got in. It just sounded like a lot of fun, you know. And I played a lot of football and stuff like that. In the past, so the running thing wasn't an issue. You know what I mean? I've always been like a keep fit person. You know what I mean? So I loved it. It was brilliant, and I was knackered by the end of the day because some of the, if you watch the video, some of the roads and that you have to run up are like really steep hills, and the director was ruthless. He was like, right, again, and I was like, any chance of a break here or what? And he's like, again, come on, again. He said, because it was natural. Do you know what I mean? I actually was knackered, and you know, when I was running and
method acting,
sprinting, I was getting in character. You know what I mean? So,
and it didn't look warm either.
Yeah, it was absolutely freezing, mate, out there, and it really was knackering. And the director was really ruthless. You know, he never let you have 5 minutes to catch your breath. It was just again, and it was great. But you know, it was. I had a big warm winter jacket in between sets. Like I looked like I was about to go skiing. You know what I mean? Like salopettes on and stuff. So it was an amazing experience. Definitely one that I'll remember forever. Like.
And this was recorded at Nashville. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did the whole album out in Nashville. Apart from actually, we thought we'd done the whole album in Nashville, and then Andy has this tendency to, as soon as we're kind of happy with an album and finish it, he goes in and writes another 2 songs. And basically these 2 songs, it's probably only about 2 months ago you wrote them, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And we all...
And what are these 2 songs, just so...
Is a track that we just did on the latest tour, actually, a track called Under the Sun,
right.
Which we, to be honest, as I'd said, the album was done and dusted, mastered.
Really?
And then...
we've kind of chosen the track listing and everything, haven't we?
Yeah, and then I just...
You seem a bit annoyed almost. Yeah,
because it's so hard. Basically, it's so hard. We recorded 19 songs in Nashville.
Right.
And then we're breaking it down to, well, however many songs we have on the album in the end, which is still an ongoing discussion because we want them all, really. But you got to break it down. And we finally kind of got to this list of 12. And then Andy kind of was like, boys, I've written another 2 songs, which I think you might like. And he kind of played them to us and we loved them straight away. Yeah. And our producer flew over to London to get these final 2 tracks done, and then it just makes the kind of process of choosing the tracks for the album even harder.
So, are you thinking of keeping them all, or are these 2 tracks going to bump off a couple of these?
They're going to bump off a couple, yeah.
Really?
It is sad. You know what? It's like, I think it was actually, I read something with Quincy Jones, who obviously was Michael Jackson's producer, and he always said that whenever Michael Jackson finished an album, they'd live with it for a couple of months, and then they'd be like, right, let's write 2 more songs. Let's beat those 2 songs.
Really?
And that was why I did it. And you know, I have a songwriting partner. You know, we write everything together. You know, even from Standing in the Dark when she was mine, new single Roads. I mean, we do everything together as a duo. And we just wrote these 2 songs and just played them to the lads, and they were like, they are great songs. So we just have to. We still haven't decided which ones we're going to bump off, but we'll have to do it.
It was a quick process. We kind of decided, we did 5 new songs for the tour that we just did, and we kind of chose those 5 new songs. But then when we recorded one of them, Under the Sun, we were like, the tour's next week, but we're going to have to play this one. And we ended up doing it.
It's a real sort of festival banger, you know what I mean? Like a big upbeat sort of live tune. It has to be played live. So we just, we threw it in for the shows. And to be fair, it probably went down one of the best songs.
Did it?
Maybe even a single at some point, who knows, so...
You mentioned the producer flew out to see you. Let's talk about John Fields. You mentioned he had a nickname.
Strawberry Fields. He's a big Beatles fan, and actually we recorded in Blackbird Studios.
And that's out in Nashville, and that's named after Blackbirds by the Beatles.
Yeah, and obviously for Andy being such a huge Beatles fan, like the memorabilia in this studio was
it all Beatles memorabilia?
Yeah, everywhere you looked, because the owner was just such a big Beatles fan, and well, to name a studio after a Beatles song, you've got to be a big fan.
Of course. And I understand that you're a proper Beatles fan. Like you were once in a Beatles cover band. Is that right?
I was, yeah. I was in a few.
I feel like I should have known this, man. I've interviewed you guys like 5 times. How do I not know this?
No, I was like, I'm talking like full on wigs and everything, like
serious.
Yeah,
Suits and everything.
Suits. I mean, I've pretty much got the whole Beatles memorabilia back home. I've got all the guitars, the Hofner bass, the wigs, the suits.
Who were you?
Well, I could do all 3.
Can you really?
Well, when I say all 3, I couldn't do Ringo.
Ringo.
So I did mainly I did Paul. So I played bass and sang, and then I also did George, and then I did Lennon as well sometimes.
Who's your favourite out of the 3?
Paul for me was always my favourite, you know. But the thing is, when I got asked to do a George, it was always an easier gig because you don't have to do any singing. You just go along and play lead guitar.
He doesn't talk too much either.
He just stands there in the middle and just plays a few tunes.
So you do an impression of Paul?
No, not really. It's more, it's more just like, okay, hey, he has this sort of tone, you know, like that. Okay, yeah. Just that, so it's...
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but I was doing it for like years. That paid my whole way through university, you know, doing that Beatles thing. We used to do like weddings, cruises, and...
What was the name of the
we were
they've
called
got fancy names, haven't they?
Yeah, we were called the Beat Beatles.
The Beatles?
Yeah, we started off in school, so literally we were doing it. We were like the youngest tribute band doing it, and yeah, it's mad. And the guys know all the lads I've played in the band with and stuff, all brilliant guys, and they're still doing it now. You know, they make a good living from it. So.
They come down to all the shows, don't they, and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Does that mean you can do a Ringo as well?
What about me?
That's my...
So no, he can't. I got to ask as well, what's your favourite Beatles song?
Favourite Beatles song is tough. I'd probably say Let It Be, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the later sort of ballady type ones, you know. Paul on the piano, you know, that's my sort of favourite.
Big sing-alongs, the Stones.
I've seen Paul live so much. He's my idol, do you know what I mean? So like, he was the reason that I got into music, writing songs, you know.
I feel like I've failed as an interviewer. The fact it's been, like I said, 5 times, I don't know this.
I've probably tried to hide it, that's why.
Well, there we go.
I'm sure you can go back and find some footage of me. Yeah. I was on Stars on the Rise.
First thing I do when I get off
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
In fact, viewers at home, Google it straight now, YouTube. You're in Stars on Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
Do you remember Stars on the Rise? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be bang on. Yeah?
You were on Stars in Their Eyes?
Yeah. I was on Stars on the Rise, mate.
Yeah, this is... You know what this is? You wanted an exclusive, this is it, because I don't think no one's known this.
Yeah.
And not even we knew it for about 2 or 3 years. And then
He
suddenly...
kept this from you guys as well.
I think we were at his mum and dad's house, and suddenly he mentioned this, and naturally, Tony Brown, hey Tony, instantly obviously knew where the video was straight away.
Right.
Went and got it, and I was blown away. I mean, for me, it was...
It was actually with Cat Dealey, so it wasn't Matthew Kelly.
Yeah.
Cat Dealey.
Cat Dealey. It was
Stars in Their Eyes, kids.
Tonight Cat I'm going to be.
Cat,
doesn't have the same ring, but it's...
Wow. Do you know what? I'm made up now. As far as I'm concerned, we can finish right here. But I feel like we should just go back and you know, talk about your music again. As much as I just want to keep asking you about Stars in the Rise and the Beatles. You guys have performed some of the new tracks from the record for us. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, there's one song called Mountains, isn't there, which we're really excited about, which is definitely a more mature sound for us. You know, listening to a lot of sort of like Imagine Dragons, you know, a lot of sort of epic, sort of anthemic choruses, you know. So we wrote a song called Mountains, and you know, we just performed that on the recent tour we did as well, and it got an amazing response. And it's very sort of the running theme of the album is very triumphant, you know. So the meaning of the song is, you know, we can move mountains, and you know, we can do anything. We can put our mind to it, sort of thing.
Was it influenced at all by the mountains in Tennessee at all?
Could well have been, mate. Who knows? You know what I mean?
But it was actually, it's a big fan of Joel's, this song, because it's kind of his first time on, to be fair, there wasn't really any guitar solos on Chapman Square, really, was there? Like, kind of
really,
just...
not proper break.
Yeah. So this is kind of his first time he really gets to shine, and
Gets to shred a bit.
the last kind of 30 seconds is just a 30-second long shredding guitar solo. So we were very excited to do that one live, and obviously you'll see it.
Yeah.
He was in his element.
Yeah? Was it at the point where you had to tone it down? You know, these guitar, they can get a little bit away with it sometimes.
We were
You're like,
pushing him
wow.
to do more and more and more.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool moment in the studio, actually, because Joel kind of had his own setup upstairs. So it was like a 2-story studio, and we'd be recording drums and stuff downstairs. And the second the drum take was done, the producer John would send up to upstairs where there was kind of a secondary studio, and Joel would be up there just trying out guitar things all day, trying to get the right sort of sound and stuff. And he kind of just kept going around the end of the song, adding stuff to the solo each time. We were all up there, weren't we? I think we were eating dinner, and we were all eating dinner, and Joel just wouldn't break to eat dinner. He just kept going around this solo, and it was getting better and better and better. And it was a wicked moment of the recording process, actually. And he finally nailed it at the end and just put his guitar down, like, done.
Tuck into some ribs.
Exactly. Now to the barbecue.
My work is done. Oh man, that's great. Tell us about the other track as well.
So there's another new track on the album called Used to Be Us, which is, again, that sort of big anthemic, sort of epic chorus. You know, we spent a lot of time perfecting the sound that we wanted for the album, which is very sort of vocal gangs, you know, in unison, like the hey and the woes and stuff like that. And it's very sort of like a running theme among the album. So, you know, we spent like a good 3 hours of the day in like a room similar to this, big mic in the middle, and then just all four of us just shouting the chorus, basically, melody. So it sounds that when you listen back, you record that 16 times, 32 times, listen back, and it's literally like a football stadium singing your chorus, which makes even a rubbish song sound good.
But you're not admitting it's rubbish.
But I'm saying this one, I'm saying if we had wrote a rubbish song, it still would have sounded good.
That's a good tip to anyone out there writing rubbish songs. If you want to make it sound good,
just keep singing it over and over again, and eventually it'll sound great.
So yeah, it led to a song called Used to Be Us, and lyrically, you know, about how we've matured as a band as well, you know, and how we feel we've improved as songwriters, improved as musicians, and that's basically all into a song called Used to Be Us.
Tell us about the final track as well.
A song called We Are Kings, which again, like Mountains, is quite triumphant, isn't it?
Yeah. About basically being the best you can be, you know, being the best band we can be. And also, you know, about proving your doubters wrong as well, you know, like everyone's got doubters, you know, and it's about basically saying, you know, you may not like us, but we don't care, you know what I mean? We're making music that we love and that a lot of people love, and you know, it's about that sort of thing, and it's an upbeat track, and it's actually the first track that we got an external musician to come in and play on the track, and that was actually Joel's mum. Funny enough, yeah, because Joel's mum's like a music teacher, so she plays flute, clarinet, saxophone.
Oh, no way!
And we wanted funny enough, flute on the song, so. Basically, we just said to Joel, get your mum on the phone to get her to record in some flute for the song, you know.
What we didn't realise, because we'd had a couple beers by this point, it was late afternoon in Nashville, so obviously in the UK it was actually about 2 in the morning. So
she loved that.
We suddenly got Joel to FaceTime his mum, and we're just like, hey Fiona, how you doing? And she's kind of just waking up like, Joel, are you okay?
We thought something bad had happened.
Exactly.
It's like 2 in the morning, wow, okay.
And basically, yeah, we just said, can you play flute on this song? And she was like, what? And we're like, we'll send you the song, just play it into your iPhone microphone and send it back over. And
which is what she did. Sent us it over and we whacked it in the tune, and it sounds awesome.
Straight into the phone.
Literally into the iPhone. That was the great thing about the recording process, was John wasn't obsessed about using the best mics or, you know, the best guitars. It was just about a vibe, you know. If you had a good vibe, throw it in there and let's see how it works, you know. So she recorded it in on the iPhone recorder, the voice note, and she put it in, and it was awesome.
It was quite an experimental song as well, actually, because that same day when we were recording it, Andy was doing like a high harmony in the chorus, and we're like, you know what, it's the harmony's so high, it might as well be a girl. Like, is there anyone in, like we said to John, do you know anyone in Nashville who could come down like a girl and just do some high harmonies on this to give the song a little bit of a different texture? And John was like, I don't know if we want to get anyone down, but why don't you just go ask the receptionist? And we're like, what, is she a singer? And he was like, we're in a studio in Nashville. This receptionist is going to be a singer. So we just went out, and this lovely girl who kind of just let us in the studio every day, we went, would you mind coming and sing on this song for us? And she was like, yeah, sure, no worries. And just came in, nailed it in 10 minutes, then went back to reception.
Seriously?
Literally nailed it. Yeah, she was awesome. We were like, are you like a singer, like, you know, of the weekend or like at night time? She was like, no.
Just a receptionist.
Just a receptionist. But that's the thing about Nashville. Everyone is an amazing musician. You know, it's like, whether you're an incredible singer, drummer, or whatever, and someone in some way will be involved in music. So she just came in, nailed the song, and then just was like, yeah, cheers guys, see you in a bit.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of, it's called We Are Kings, featuring Fiona Peat and Blair Mingers.
Yeah, that's actually a name.
That's her name.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't actually need to cut that out. That's a name.
That's their name, so we'll leave that in.
Blair Minges.
It's
for
in the credits on the album. True story.
Blair, are you watching this? I don't know why these guys are laughing. I seriously don't.
You're a lovely woman with a lovely name, and I respect you.
I don't know what to say, man. I think that's great, and I think it's great that you can give Claire Minges a little
Blair Minges.
Oh, Blair
Please
Minges.
get the name right, for God's
I
sake.
got the surname right.
How could you forget that, mate? How could you forget that?
Oh my God. What's coming up next for then, you guys? What are your plans for 2015? I know the festivals are starting to book up now. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool plans. We're doing V Festival later on in the summer.
Nice. That'll be your third, is it now?
Third time.
Third time.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. We had a year off last year, and we're back again.
Can I say you were missed last year?
We missed it as well.
Yeah.
I think we were actually in Nashville at the time.
Yeah.
And we saw it going on, and it just didn't feel right.
We always, we like a cheeky.
We like to drink something out of a pineapple.
Something. No one really knows what it is, but it's definitely being drunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll be doing that again this year, which would be brilliant, and lots of more. We're also doing Great Escape in Brighton, which should be cool.
Yeah,
Live in Leeds.
Live in Leeds, yeah.
Splendour Festival in Nottingham. And
so yeah, to be honest, a couple of festivals we've not done before, mate. So
Nice.
which is nice. And then hopefully we'll be head out back on tour probably end of the year. Album in the summer. So yeah.
Things are getting quite exciting in America as well at the moment.
I understand. You guys have just been signed out there. Is that correct?
Yeah, we never really released anything from the first album over there. So kind of this second album's kind of our first taste of doing stuff in America. And obviously it's a much kind of longer journey for a single over there and stuff. But it's road to start to pick up plays at like AAA radio over there, which is kind of a really cool kind of quite underground kind of radio
it's funny,
group
really.
over there.
Yeah.
So
We just sent the song out there, and the stations that have really gravitated towards it have been these sort of like indie, cool sort of rock stations, which is great, So it's.
Do you know why I think that is? Is it? Can I hear a banjo?
Yeah.
Is it the banjo?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, it's
Americans love a banjo.
Nashville, innit? Yeah. I mean, when in Rome.
Exactly.
So.
Get out a banjo.
But it's cool, because it's great to broaden your fan base as well, and get as many people on board as possible. So that's really exciting. We just, as Ad said, it's a lot slower, the journey there, because obviously it's such a big place. Yeah. So we've just if we get success, it'll be fantastic. If not, it's just great to have the experience of touring America and spending some time there, and it's good fun.
Amazing. Well, guys, I think you're going to have an incredible 2015 and obviously 2016, because I think you're going to be touring a lot with this record, which is out summertime.
Towards end of summer.
Yeah,
I'd say. Yeah,
we haven't got any definite dates yet, but mate, when we do, you'll be the first to know.
Boom. And obviously, we'll catch up again at V. Yeah.
Yes.
Mate,
Awesome.
see you with a pineapple.
Pineapple, maybe coconut.
Yeah.
Mix it up a bit. But yeah, listen, it's been lovely once again to chat to you guys, and look forward to seeing you guys again later on in the year.
Cheers, Ivan. Thanks, mate.
Lawson.